So apparently it's been announced. The new expansion for WoW. I see that they also well actually I'll get to that. I'll probably just like three separate videos. Because I don't want any one video to be any longer. But this is apparently the name of it is World of Warcraft, The War Within. Not sure how I feel about the title, but here you go.
You're here to tell me we don't get to hide. Is that it?
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
You didn't just come here for me. It's the visions. You've seen them.
I suspect many have lately. Someone is calling out from the heart of the world, like a voice from a dream. Something dark is coming, Anduin. The world needs your light again. My son.
I am not that person anymore. I have no light. Not after what I've seen. Not after what I've done.
You are not your past, Anduin. I trust you.
They're getting worse. Look, whatever's coming, I'll stand with you. Of course I will. But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it, Thrall? Who's calling out to us?
I'm not sure yet. But that sword was aimed at someone.
Okay. Wow. Where do I even start with this? Okay, so the World Soul, they're showing the sword, Sargeras' sword. So clearly the person they're hearing is Azeroth herself. So that means for the first time, we as the player have heard the voice of Azeroth. So the voice that you know, Magni's been hearing the whole time because he's able to communicate with her. We've just heard the voice of Azeroth. And ever since Sargeras plunged his sword into the planet, he didn't hit her directly, but she's still wounded by it. Obviously, we saw that from all the Azerite that was spawning. That was her blood. So that we heard Azeroth's voice for the first time. That and the key thing they kept going to, because right now it's just a soul. It's a world soul. So it's not like it's a physical form. So that mesh of like blue and just like very ethereal, spiritual looking thing, that's Azeroth. But they're finally addressing the giant freaking sword that they had Sargeras plunge into the planet ages ago in Legion. It's like, oh yeah, no. The the parallels that they're still trying to make between Anduin and yeah, this right here. This is Azeroth. This is like Azeroth's more just formlessness right now. But this is essentially Azeroth. That's also, let's just mention how handsome Anduin is. He's a good-looking man right there, and of course, Thrall. He's got a little more gray, but still looking like his daddy, who's also very handsome. Or for orcs. Uh, but this part with so they showed like a reimagined like from that cinematic in Shadowlands where you've got Anduin and he's got his sword and it's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, my blade and blah blah blah, and Varian comes in and Sourfang comes in and he rips apart and it becomes Charlemagne again. It's no longer whatever rune blade it was; it becomes Charlemagne again, and you can see all the death magic and the darkness just kind of like and that's where they show Arthas's soul. But but just the realism, it's just, oh my god. This pose look familiar? Just more parallels being drawn between Anduin and Arthas. You know, and right now he's got a whole lot of darkness in him that he feels like a whole lot of darkness. Both people were beings of light. Arthas supposedly was supposed to be the greatest paladin, like the bringer of light and this and that, and except he went down the wrong path and like, I'll do anything to protect my people, and eventually becomes the Lich King. Uh, Despite being a puppet and being controlled by the jailer, here Anduin is because he managed to overcome that darkness, but he still feels like there's that darkness lingering in him, and maybe he's going through some kind of crisis like with Thrall. like what Thrall did, where he's like, oh, I no longer feel connected. You know, I no longer feel the elements, and they don't come. You know, they're not coming to me. So maybe because he's been tainted by that darkness and the self-doubt that the light isn't blessing him the way it used to. But just it just every little detail, like instead of a live action movie, we want this. If Blizzard can make us a Warcraft movie that looks like this, we would be happy. We would be happy. Just his hand in the sand. It's just insane. Yeah, that right there. Essentially, that is Azeroth. Because right now she's just a world soul. There's nothing like physical in there. But that is what he stabbed. Sargeras stabbed. You can see the yellow and the blues and red. So this trailer is for the first time. So okay, wait. I don't think we're going to. We might see a manifestation in an avatar, possibly of Azeroth somewhere. And we know we fought Argus, who is the Titan soul that was in Argus. Of course, his planet, Argus completely broke. But no one really knows what happens when a Titan emerges. Because Titans emerge and some planets get destroyed. I think it really depends on the Titan. But just the fact that after how many years, we finally heard the voice of Azeroth. And for people not experienced enough in this game, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. It's like when we first heard Elune. In Shadowlands, you have Elune taking over the body of Tyrande, talking to the Winter Queen, and that was the first time we've heard Elune's voice. Elune, who's been around forever. We found out that Elune is known well across the cosmos by other races, and that Azeroth wasn't the first planet to have night warriors. To hear Elune's voice, and it was a very different voice. It was not Tyrande's voice. It was Elune speaking to us, or rather, not speaking to us, speaking to the Winter Queen, but she was kind of speaking to everyone. So these beings, these exceptionally powerful, like Azeroth, most powerful Titan, apparently. That's why everyone wants her. That's why Sargeras wanted to destroy her. That's why the Void wants to corrupt her. Because if this planet was to fall to darkness, there would be nothing in this. There would be nothing. We would not be able to stop this planet from, hatching into a Titan, which would be able to just annihilate anything. It would just shred reality itself, and that's why Sargeras was so hellbent on destroying this planet. It's like, oh yeah, all these other planets were easy, and I've saved them. But he was hellbent because he kind of saw Azeroth. He's like, I can't let this. No, this planet, this isn't falling to the void, or whatever, because if we'd all be screwed. We'd all be screwed if it did. Like, this is Sargeras, the same guy who took out every one of his siblings by himself. This is the guy who would go around and cleave planets in two. And he saw this and was like, nope. No. So, Azeroth is extremely important The fact that they're being called to Silithus, I don't like Silithus, but it looks like we're going there for something. But just that gorgeous shot of Sargeras' sword right there. I mean, obviously you can see the corruption. You know, we purged the corruption in it with our artifacts, but they're like, well, we don't know who it is. And at first I thought Thrall was going to say the planet, and it's so good to hear Chris Metzen, and it sounds actually more like Chris Metzen than Thrall now. You know, Metzen's just, it sounds like he's just kind of going in and doing his own voice instead of putting that deeper thrallness into it. It just sounds like, you know, but I don't care. I love Thrall. I love Chris Metzen. I'm so glad he's back. But you know, Anduin saying, you know, who is a Thrall? And I thought Thrall being connected to the elements in some way would know exactly who is whispering to them, and how everyone is hearing that she's not just whispering to them, but everyone apparently is hearing her voice now. So that means probably all the leaders of the Horde, the leaders of the Alliance. I mean, anyone who's powerful enough to hear, because she's a powerful being. It's kind of like with things that only children can see. You know, this is probably a voice that's so powerful, you have to be an exceptionally powerful person to hear it. So we have people, obviously Horde and Alliance are hearing her voice. We've got Anduin, we've got Thrall, so all the way over there in like Silvermoon, you got Lorthamar probably hearing her voice. Bane. I mean, you have all these. Also, where's Vol'jin? Did we ever really get a conclusion with him? Him kind of becoming like a Loa? I mean, is he gonna help us out at any time? You're like, hey guys, I'm back. I'm here to help you, man. Is he gonna help out, or is he just gonna stay and do Loa things? Because this seems like a pretty good time. You know, with connections to death and the planet. You know, to have Bwansamdi or you know, someone like that. But yeah, we have heard Azeroth herself now. We now know what Azeroth sounds like. All those times that Magni's like, "Hey, she's crying for help." Now we know what he's been hearing. We are hearing what he's been hearing. Because he's the first one who was able, like, kind of talking to her after he kind of crystallized and kind of became one with the earth. He was really the most in tune with the planet. She's crying for help. And now we're hearing what he's hearing. And this is just the cinematic. We've still got the features to go through, and so whew, our dream team got these couple of fine looking Chads over here. You know, just as soon as I heard that, you could kind of see my face like, if it's a voice everyone's hearing. And they kept showing that flash of the like what looks like a core. I'm like this, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to disturb the video, and I was just like, just let it go. But in the back of my, like, I'm thinking to myself, it's Azeroth. It's Azeroth. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.